All right, forest preservation. Welcome to your key components focus area video. This will be short and sweet. Just some things that I need you to know about forest preservation in order to come up with the best product and solution for your project. So, as you guys already know from all of your extensive research, forests are so important for many, many reasons. Some key reasons are that they are our largest carbon store other than the ocean. So, lots of carbon is housed in our forests, and that is important. It is directly linked to increased biodiversity because of the many habitats that there are in forests. So we have forests all over the world. We have rainforests, we have temperate forests, we have forests that are right off of our coastlines. There are many different types of habitats and ecosystems that are in our forests, and therefore lots of different plants and animals, which means that there is high biodiversity. So, what you also need to know about forests, as you might have learned in world geography, they have a link to climate change and weather patterns. They are very closely related to the amount of rainfall, and they are a huge component of our water cycle. So, if our forests are damaged, it is not only affecting our water cycle and all of that globally, but it's also affecting our weather patterns and how severe or not so severe our weather patterns are. So, by knowing this, just one small difference can cause, this was supposed to say in a forest, can cause catastrophic damage. So, I wanted to read you some information that was regarding a study. And you can click this because you'll have access to these slides. But a study on drought in terrestrial forest ecosystems found that if there were a drought, okay, in these terrestrial forests, small plants, those will die first. And because of this, deep rooting is a consequence. So our bigger trees, they won't be able to actually move their roots into the ground deep enough in order to keep these carbohydrates that they create in their systems, which allowed for water uptake. So because those roots can't take place, reserving carbohydrates decreases. They're not making as much sugar. And those carbohydrates are actually used as nutrients to allow for that water uptake. Okay, so it does mess with our water cycle, not only in a rainfall kind of way, but in order for this water to be taken from the ground. Also, plants are more susceptible to insects and disease. So, based on this study, just because of a drought and not as much rain in that specific area, more susceptibility to insects and disease can lead to death of certain organisms and therefore affect the entire forest and ecosystem. So, what I really want you to take away from today is also thinking about climate, not only thinking about, okay, how can we stop people from deforestation, but thinking about the bigger ecosystem impacts because you will have to explain that to us in this project. So, another key component is keeping in mind that it's not only our rainforests that are affected by deforestation, but there are other places. There are other places in the world that are affected by this deforestation phenomena and that need our help. So I wanted to read this quote from the World Foundation, the World Wildlife Foundation. You can read this here. It is linked. It says, however, when forests are destroyed by activities such as logging and land conversion for agriculture, which is something that you probably have been looking into, they release large quantities of carbon dioxide and the other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. So, this is important not only to save our trees because they are a process of photosynthesis and take in our carbon dioxide, but when we actually destroy this, for logging, for turning this land into agriculture, carbon is released into the atmosphere. So we're doing exactly what we don't want to happen in this specific scenario. So think about that today as you are moving through your work.